Okay, huge movie fanatic Nate here on the wonderful Slam Bang holiday season. I'm not really a holiday guy, but whatever. Actually, in defense of the holidays, I'm a huge fan of Christmas lights, and as a matter of fact, I use white Christmas lights all year round at night because it's really a therapeutic. I love Christmas lights, and I also love Christmas music. I don't really necessarily care about some of the more uh, propaganda propaganda-ish lyrics on some of those classic traditional uh, songs, but like I was saying in the last review, the Charlie Brown Christmas special review, some of the versions of Christmas music is really great. So Christmas music, Christmas cookies, and Christmas lights I really love. So those are a few of my favorite things about Christmas, and pretty much the only things that I like about Christmas. So moving on to another Christmas themed review, I'm doing just like a Charlie Brown Christmas special, something I grew up with, which is of course people from my generation and on, obviously, because gosh, this movie, shit. I mean, this movie came out when I was a kid, shit. So I'm like one of the first generations to, shit, grew up with this movie. So anyway, I'm doing a review of A Christmas Story from 19 whatever, 85. It's got to be 85 or 86 or something like that. I can't remember if we saw this in the theater, possibly second run, I don't know. But regardless, I saw it since then, or I've seen it, okay? And obviously this is something, now that my dad absolutely loved, well, okay, maybe not loved, well, yeah, he really kind of liked this. I mean, we pretty much, probably for a few years, watch it every year this time of year. And one of the, which I didn't know at the time, but I became more aware of the older I got. And I can't remember exactly when this took place, late 40s, early 50s, I can't remember. But obviously my dad was born in 47, so it took place kind of around the general time frame of when my dad's childhood was. So when I was a kid, I didn't understand, that so much, but now obviously I understand. Well, I had understood before now, but I mean, as an adult, I understand that one of the reasons he liked it so much was because it was reminiscent. It reminded probably him of his childhood, and which is a good thing if you had a good childhood, or or childhood with good parts. So A Christmas Story, and I haven't seen this forever. I actually got the DVD, where for how much, half-price books for $3 years ago, but I'm probably going to watch it this year, and I probably should have watched it before the review, but I've seen it so many times that it's kind of I know it. Now the stars is difficult, I'm not sure, so let me just talk about it before I bother with trying to think of stars. I mean, this is a beyond classic, and the guy's voice to and the idea of having it having the adult voice, but luckily, unlike Stand By Me, I think it's actually better for this movie, or maybe a movie in general, to not show the older version. But it's cool just to hear the older version of the young character, but not necessarily see the character. And anyway, regardless of Stand By Me, it worked for this movie, I think, to not see the old character, but just to hear his voice. And the guy they got to do the voice is just really great. This is just, I mean, obviously it's beyond classic for this time of year. You generally don't watch this kind of movie well, at least I don't. I mean, if you do, that's absolutely fine, but I generally don't watch this movie any other time of year except right around now. But for the past several years, I don't even watch it right around now. I don't watch it at all, but back in the day, we used to. And it's really this cool American sentimental story, and the aspect of so many things. And it was great growing up with this movie because so much what they went through, or what Alfie, I can't remember if his name's Alfie or Ralphie or something like that. I haven't seen it in years. What he goes through with the bullies and all this shit, and also looking in the mailbox to see if things showed up, and so many of these things that are a part of people's childhoods and just how it's just freaking awesome when that freaking bully's like, and Ralphie just blows up and beats the shit out of him, man. Oh yeah, I'm always so just. I could watch like 30 minutes of him beating that kid up. I'm always when I see it, you're always so yeah, man, kick his ass. You on his side. You're rooting for him so much because bullies just suck dick. I mean, they're fucking assholes, But the thing is, they're suffering too. That's why they're fucking bullies, and that's the tragedy of the whole thing. And but anyway, this is anyway. So there's just so many aspects of this movie that are beyond classic. What's his name? Who I can't remember anymore. Who played the dad was just phenomenal. And the lamp and the fragile. It must be Italian. And the furnace and stuff. It's just so great, and it captures so many great things about the winter. Like that scene. It always comes back to my mind. Like during the winter, if it's dusk, just before the night washes over, and in that bluish outside, there's that scene where Ralphie or whatever his name is laying down. This is after the fight, and he's worried about his dad coming home, and and I think the older version is narrating, but just that, I think there's a moment where it's like, and he might even talk about the fading light outside or whatever, but that always stuck with me. And anytime I'd see it in life in the winter, I'd always think of that part where the day's fading and it's getting night or whatever, and it's always so great. It doesn't matter how many times you see it, when his dad comes home and Ralphie's so afraid of how his dad's going to react, and mom just doesn't say anything, and Ralphie's like, oh man, and it's just the most important thing that ever happened to Ralphie at that moment, and the most, of the relief that washes over him, and it's just like, oh man, I'm going to live, I might as well eat, and just that touching moment of mother and son, and that understanding there is great. So there's things I don't like. I don't really like I'd probably go 3.5 stars with A Christmas Story, because I don't really like it's kind of funny, but I never really liked the fantasy scene. That's all like Benny Hill sped up with oh, you're our savior. I don't think it's very long, but that's probably my least favorite scene in the movie. I love how it ends where something happens to the Christmas feast or whatever, and they end up going to some Chinese place or whatever. I think that is just beautiful, because that is so much. I remember having a Christmas with my dad, and I can't remember why, but he didn't get I think we did. Holidays were never a big deal to us, and I'm actually glad. And we'd get, our big holiday feast was a frickin' steak. He'd make a couple steaks. It's not like we were poor or anything like that. It's just me and him. I don't know. We just never. Holidays weren't a big deal, and we didn't have it wasn't a big, huge family, which I guess I was grateful. I mean, I'm kind of grateful for. So anyway, what I'm getting at is, what I was saying is, I don't know, for some reason, some year we didn't have even steak. I don't think he got the steak or anything. So we had frozen pizza. I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we went. I can't remember why. Maybe he got it at the gas station or something. But what I'm saying is what ended up happening with didn't the neighbor's dog come in and completely destroy, and he picked up destroyed the Christmas dinner. So they ended up, and this is how the movie ends, it's beautiful. They ended up going to the Chinese place or whatever, and they even had him sing, which they probably say is racist now, which is the, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell. Oh God, they totally would not even let that happen now. It's so pathetic. But it was just a beautiful way to end the movie. And because obviously that's why I'm saying my story, because things like that happen in life where things as planned, but the beautiful thing about it is they ended up going out to this Chinese restaurant or whatever, probably the only thing that was open, and still having a good whatever, good movie, family Christmas. And I love how the movie ends with the serenity of, I can't remember if they turn on the radio, but there's music, I think. I don't think there's carolers outside, I can't remember. But I think the Christmas lights are on in the tree inside and it's snowing, and it just, the Christmas Story movie ends with the most amazing, like, just feeling of, Ralphie's got his rifle, I think, and his brother's got a toy train or whatever, and the movie has like the best ending. If it wasn't for that Benny Hill scene, I'd probably go 4 stars, but I can't do it with that Benny Hill scene, even though it is kind of funny, but whatever. It ends with the most perfect Christmas holiday movie ending you could, and with that, I think that I'm gonna probably end this because I think I've really gone on and on. But I'm gonna watch it this year because I got the $3 DVD that's been just waiting, so you can bet on that. So thanks for watching, and have a, if you're a holiday person, I guess have a great one. Thanks a lot for watching.